Hi athletes, welcome to our post-workout recovery program. Today we're going to focus on the lower body. Getting started standing at the back of the mat, place the feet hips width distance apart, distribute the weight evenly amongst all four corners of the feet, stand up tall, and deepen the breath. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Continue. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands to your hips. Bend the knees and with the flat back, fold all the way forward. With the hands at the hips, think about pressing the hips up towards the ceiling. Inhale, half lift the spine, flattening the back like a tabletop. Exhale, forward fold. Keep that little bend in the knees and grab a hold of your ankles. Bend your knees as much as you need so that you can grab onto the back of your ankles. Now work the elbows towards the backs of the knees and using the biceps, pull the chest closer to the thighs. Good. Release and then walk the hands forward into downward facing dog. Take a few moments here to pedal out through the feet. The hamstrings should already feel quite open here. Beautiful. Hands are outer shoulder width distance apart. The feet are hips width distance apart. Keep pressing the chest towards the thighs as you pedal out the feet. With an inhale, right foot high for three-legged dog. Hold this as you exhale. Work both legs as straight as you can. Then bend into your right knee and stack the right hip over your left, squeezing your right heel to your glute. Exploring the range of motion in your hips, begin drawing circles with your right knee as large as you can draw them. So we're just beginning to awaken the hip joint since we're going to be doing a lot of hip opening in this workout. Good. And switch directions. And then take it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, send the left foot to three-legged dog. Hold it as you exhale. Work both legs as straight as possible. Keep the chest working towards the right thigh. Then bend into your left knee and stack the left hip over the right, pointing your knee towards the ceiling and squeezing your left heel towards your glutes. So the hamstrings are active here. Begin drawing circles with your left knee. Think about how large you can draw them as you explore your full range of motion. And make sure to switch directions, taking the non-habitual pathway. Good. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, downward facing dog. From here, tiptoe your toes up towards your hands now at the top of your mat. And let's come into a yogi squat. Point the toes outward at a 45-degree angle and sink the seat towards the ground. Bring the elbows to the insides of the knees and think about pulling the chest forward as you bring the palms together in front of the chest, lengthening the spine here. Good. Keep the knees apart, extend the arms overhead. With an inhale, rise all the way to standing, active through your leg muscles. Exhale, lower back into that squat. Keep the arms reaching overhead. Inhale, lift up to standing. Exhale, take it all the way back into your squat. Inhale, stand. Exhale, squat. See if you can do this without momentum. Inhale, stand. Exhale, squat. Good. Last one. Inhale, stand. And exhale, squat. Bring the hands together once again in front of the chest. From here, walk the hands down behind you and lower the seat all the way down. Windshield wiper the legs by dropping your knees left to right. Taking a few moments here to explore the range of motion in the hips as well as we move through both internal and external rotation in both the left and right femur bones, alternating sides. Now, little challenge. Stop when the knees are to the right and lift the hands off of the ground. Best as you can without using your hands, shift your knees left and right so the feet will stay grounded. And see how well you can do this without using your hands. You'll notice that the core needs to engage a little bit here. Good. Keep going. And then eventually you'll pause when your knees are back over on the right side. Place the hands down behind you and bend your left knee a little deeper so the left heel is reaching towards your left glutes. Walk the hands back, lift the seat off of the ground, tuck the tailbone under, and then lower the glutes back down. Now, option to lower onto the elbows here. You should feel a nice stretch through the left quadriceps. If lowering down onto the elbows is too much for your left knee, then stay on the hands. If the elbows feel comfortable, then stay there. If you want to go even deeper, then lower all the way down onto your back and possibly send the arms overhead, grabbing a hold of opposite elbows. So what we're targeting is the left quadriceps. We're targeting internally rotating through the left hip, and we're targeting the left hip flexors. Good. Real gently begin to lift yourself up out of that pose. Drop your knees to the left side now. Draw your right heel in towards your right glutes. Sit up nice and tall and walk the hands back. Lift the seat off the ground. Tuck the tailbone under, then lower the hips back down. That's the key in opening up your right quadriceps. Now you can stay on the hands or maybe lower onto the elbows. If you're comfortable, stay there. If you want to take it all the way to your back, then lower all the way down. And possibly grab a hold of your elbows overhead. Wherever you are, steady your breath. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 5. Good. And beginning to make our way out of the pose. Begin to lift back up onto your hands if you had lowered down. Then we'll cross the legs and come into a tabletop position. So the best way you know how to make your way into a tabletop. Step the right foot forward in between your hands and slide the left knee far back. So the right knee stacks above your right ankle here. Drop the hips, feeling the left hip flexors open, and release. Deep breath in. Deep breath out, softening the muscles in the hips as best as you can. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, half splits, walk your hands back, working your right leg straight and fold over your right leg. So we're flexing the right toes, and you're welcome to keep a little micro bend in your right knee here, as long as you feel a stretch through your right hamstrings, through the back of your leg. Good. Now from here, walk both hands to the outside of your right leg and point your right toes to the right side of the room, getting into the IT band. Fold in the direction of the right side of the room. Notice that this sensation might be a little more intense than in neutral half splits. That is normal. That is to be expected. Stay with your breath. Good. Now getting a nice glute stretch, begin to bend in your right knee. Both hands are still on the outside of your right leg. So it's something like a kind of stretch that we experience in a half pigeon pose. Close the eyes, relax the muscles in the face, let the hips sink as you bend your right knee. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Good. Then from here, make your way back into a neutral low lunge. Walk forward, frame your right foot, take a breath in, and exhale, tabletop position. Good. Other side, step the left foot forward in between the hands. Walk the left foot forward enough that the left knee is stacked above the left ankle. Let the hips sink as you feel the right hip flexors open and release. Notice that this side might feel a bit different than the previous side. It is normal to be asymmetrical, so don't attach any labels or any judgments to this. Soften the muscles in the face. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Half splits. Start to walk the hands back, straightening out through your left leg. And an option to keep that micro bend through your left knee as you fold over your left leg. Flex your left toes, so we also work on the calf muscles as well. It's also important to bring some awareness into the extremities, observing what's happening in the hands and feet while we're in any other yoga pose. Stay here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, now working on that IT band stretch, walk both hands to the outside of your left leg, point the left toes to the left, and fold. Again, noticing that this may feel a little more intense than a neutral half splits. Find your breath best as you can. Relax the muscles in the face and relax the muscles along the back of the legs and the sides of the legs. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Let's start to make our way into that glute stretch by bending into the left knee. So the left toes are still pointing to the left side of the room, and both hands are still on the outside of the left leg. Now, it might not take a lot of a bend into that knee in order to get that glute stretch. So just listen to your body, take your time, and practice a little bit of patience with yourself here. Nice. Making our way back into that neutral lunge. And exhale, tabletop position. Good work. Step the right foot forward, this time to the outside of both hands for lizard lunge. Now, we want the right foot either in front of or directly underneath your right knee. The sole of the foot stays grounded as you work your right knee further and further to the right. You're welcome to stay on your hands. For some of us, this is definitely going to be enough. If you want to take it further, start to lower your elbows to the ground. Find your breath. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 5. Good. Begin to make your way out of your lizard lunge. Heel toe your right foot now to the left side of your mat, moving directly into half pigeon. Drop your right knee to the right. Lift high into the fingertips. Take an inhale, almost like you're moving into a back bend as you pull the chest forward and open up the left hip flexors. And with your exhale, start to fold forward, maybe coming down onto your elbows in a half pigeon pose. If this is enough, stay on the elbows. Maybe stack your fists and lower your forehead onto your fists, or maybe lower the forehead all the way down to the ground. Any of these variations are valid here. All we're looking for is that we're feeling sensation and a nice deep stretch through the outer right hip and right glutes. Inhale. Exhale. Find that rhythm of breath that serves you. 3-second inhale and 5-second exhale. Real slowly, we begin to make our way out of half pigeon pose. You'll plant the hands down as you start to lift the chest back up. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee, and step right back into your tabletop position. Then tuck the toes under, lift the knees, down dog. Inhale the right foot high for 3-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee and stack the hips. Draw circles with your right knee, just like we did earlier on in class. Just getting some blood flow back into the outer hips and glutes. Good. Then lower the right foot back down for a down dog. Tap both knees down, and let's move on to lizard lunge on the left side. Step the left foot forward outside of the left hand. Draw the right knee further back. Make sure that the left knee is stacked directly above or behind the left ankle. So we want a really broad stance here. Left toes point outward at a 45-degree angle. And maybe you stay here on the hands. If you want to take it further, you may lower down onto the elbows. If that's a little too much for you today, then you're absolutely welcome to stay on the hands. We're just looking to open up the left hip and the right hip flexors. Find your breath. Inhale. And exhale. Continue that breath. Begin lifting back up onto the hands if you had lowered down. Moving into half pigeon, heel toe the left foot to the right side of your mat and lower the left knee down. Find the angle between your femur bones and shin bones that work for your body. Lift onto the fingertips, pull the chest forward, find some opening through the front of the body. Take a breath in. And with your exhale, begin to fold, coming down onto the elbows. If the elbows are enough, stay here. Maybe you stack your fists and lower the forehead to your fists, or maybe you lower the forehead all the way to the ground. Whatever suits you best, and reconnect to your breath. We're here for 1 minute. Now you might observe that as the seconds go by, the intensity of this stretch grow little by little. But observe how when you keep your awareness with your breath and you keep this elongated exhale, it becomes manageable. Doesn't mean it's easy for deep stretch, but it becomes something that you can handle. Of course, if it becomes too much at any point in time, you're more than welcome to back out. If you feel any sharp pinching pain anywhere, definitely back out. Otherwise, stay with your breath and work through this. Begin to lift yourself out. Plant the hands on the ground. Tuck the right toes under. Lift the right knee. Step back into tabletop. Then with an inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale the left foot high, three-legged dog. Bend the knees, stack the hips, and draw your circles with your left knee, giving the blood flow back into your left hip. Nice. Then take the left foot back down for downward facing dog. Tap both knees down, moving through tabletop position. Swing the legs forward out in front of you, coming into a seat. Nice and easy. Lower all the way down onto your back. Release the hands to the ground with the palms facing up on either side of you. And one last exercise before we close our practice. Begin to engage every muscle in the body, tensing the muscles in the face, shoulders, core, arms, hands, thighs, the knees, the calves, even the feet. Everything tense, tense, tense. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and let it all go. Release to your most natural rhythm of breath and stay here for as long as you'd like in your Shavasana.